There we go. From hiding to owning the world stage. From hiding to owning the world stage. First, when I say own the world stage, I mean own you. I mean own you, everything about you. Further, while everything that comes out of my mouth is of a higher order, regardless of how it sounds to the listener. Today, in particular, I'd like to set the stage, the tone, plant a seed for the kind of conversations, the kind of power that's truly the distinction for the women who are navigating this path, who will navigate this path, and who are truly sincere about owning their full power at all costs. Yeah. So I'd like to have private conversations. So this is going to happen. Obviously, this is public. Okay. So anybody can see who chimes in on YouTube, watches the replay 7 years from now, or who's here on TikTok. However, I'd like to, for women who are truly going to work with me at these elevated levels, I'm going to use today as a seed planting opportunity. Wow. The path to owning your full power, man or woman, the path to owning the fullness of you, meaning every sensation, your full intuition, every feeling, every experience that occurs in your reality, everything about your way of thinking, being, speaking, seeing, and you owning that. So this is entirely you, nothing to do with anybody else. You entirely owning that is extremely difficult. Our society is so designed to support you very easily in offloading your power onto things, onto people, onto thought patterns, onto ways of being, onto sentimentality, onto group thinking. Our society is so designed to support you in offloading your power onto one or more of those things, and for you to feel very good and right about it. Okay, this is how our society is so designed. If you are here on a regular basis and you always find value when you're here, please share this live stream now. If you are new here and your intuition has already told you that there is great value here and you would like others to experience the value and the sensation that you are experiencing now, please share this live stream. Thank you. Hi, Laura. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And also, hearts, please, so we can get up. And thank you for the 184, now 199, now 214 that we have now. Now 219. Now 234. Y'all moving fast. Thank you. Now 247. I love just watching the number go up. And then I'll just learn today I can also heart my own life. Now 267. Laura says priceless wisdom. Yeah. So thank you for liking the live. Who is that right there? Sandra. Hey, Sandra. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yes, please share the live stream. So, we are very much supported in offloading our power onto something, anything that will work. Okay, basically, anything that will get you to offload your power onto it versus you standing fully in your power. And so, this is the talking about it is sensational enough as I continue to talk about it, right? Like you're already feeling it, right? You're already sensing it, you're already feeling it. The gravity of what your power is actually like when you own everything about you, everything, every thought, every feeling, every intuition, every whisper, every action and non action, everything. And you, in that ownership, you allow that to govern your actions in the obedience that we talked about last week, Sandra and I. So, one, this is extremely difficult. Therefore, folks have plenty of reason not to do it. Well, it's hard. I mean, and most people really want an easier way. They want comfort. They want it to be nice, stable, etc. And in the seeking of nice, comfortable, peaceful, stable, they, um, I had so many words just came to mind to describe that. One is handicap themselves. Another thing they do is they hypnotize themselves into mediocrity. The Diary of a CEO, which is a podcast that I listen to. Anybody here heard of Diary of a CEO? Do you like it? Young British black man is the host. It's a very, very good. Very, he has great people on there, and he's great with asking questions and listening and being present, etc. And he has had several experts, whatever you want to call them, but some psychologist, doctor, physicist that has come on there and has said some version of the development of the human happens under rigor. The development, yeah, the mixed race guy. The development, is he mixed race? I know he's yellow, but I don't know if he's mixed race. I've never heard him talk about his parents, but so that the development of the human, when I say the development of the human, I mean the development of the mind, the development of the heart, the development of all your muscles, the development of your body, etc., happens under rigor. It does not happen under comfort. It doesn't happen under Netflix and chill. It doesn't happen under go to your job, do whatever you do at that job, feed your energy to that, then pay these bills, maybe go to brunch on Sunday, maybe travel to Thailand this summer, maybe have a birthday party for your daughter, maybe you do A, B, and C, but there's no real deliberate, intentional working through developing yourself for a greater good, for a higher good, or for what many of you would call your purpose in life, your highest self, the work that your highest self would do. Again, if you are here regularly and you find value, please go ahead and share this live stream right now. And then right? From what I know, that helps. So, difficulty is an out for many people. That's hard. So that's an out for many people. And what I'm here to tell you is that the full power that, for those of you, you have avoided, you have like sat on the sidelines and watched, you have negotiated your power and your freedom and the action you will and will not take. You have tried to create really logical, sound reasons for why you don't take action on the thing that you knew, like Sandra talked about last week, instructions for weeks, days, years on doing something, but you either distract yourself with something, food, a man, a job, whatever, or you put it off of, well, I'll wait until this thing happens, whatever the thing is. I'll wait until the kids get older. I'll wait until I lose weight. I'll wait until I have more money. I'll wait until my money's right. I'll wait until my mother dies. I'll wait until I feel better. I'll wait until I lose weight. I'll wait until, right? And time continues to pass. And as I said earlier, for those of you who were here earlier before I shut this down and restarted it, you're waiting for something bigger to come in and jolt you. You're waiting for something bigger than your will to come and jolt you into action because your current will is weaker. Your current dedication to obedience is weak. Your current power capacity is weak. And when I say weak, that's subjective, right? Like, obviously, all of us have some power, okay? I'm talking about the power that allows you to do the difficult things that are humiliating to your ego. Thank you for following Blessing. That feel destabilizing for you, where you feel like you're not in control, etc. Okay. When I say difficulty, this is what it looks like. How many of you have gotten instruction to do something, to make a decision, to write something, to do something, and you didn't do it? That doing and what it would take for you to do that is the hard part. But then it's the muscle development in the process. What I think Nicole calls it, you work it out in the slow practice so you can bring it out in the flow practice, i.e., you make it a lifestyle. I'm going to repeat that. You lay an intent down in your life. Your intent is to do X, Y, Z. Yes? Life sends you invitations based on your true intent. You're going to say yes, you're going to say no all the time. This is for all of us. You're going to say yes, you're going to say no. Oftentimes, especially when you're talking about living your purpose, when you talk about doing what you came here to do, when you talk about doing something that's anti status quo, that's against your version of comfort, safety, what I call prison, golden handcuffs. And the action you're going to be required to take is going to have you breaking something that's inside of the comfort that you've created thus far. And that just reminds me, I didn't complete the thought about all these doctors and physicists and psychologists, etc., on this podcast with Diary of a CEO have talked about, yes, rigor develops the human, and that so many Americans specifically have weak immune systems, and they're just weaker in their ability to do and create and live thriving lives because there's so much in a mad dash for comfort. Oh, order the food on DoorDash. Oh, what's the easiest way? Oh, make it easy. Let's not walk. And this is also why so many Americans died during COVID, is because we apparently, according to these folks, we have the weakest immune systems. So that means when COVID hit, our systems couldn't fight COVID. And that's because so many of us are living these weak, distracted, comfortable lives that we don't have the fortitude, we don't have the strength, we don't have the clarity of thought, the clarity of mind to come out and do difficult things. So, in bringing this back to the conversation of you do things in the slow practice so you can bring it out in the flow practice and how that relates to a lifestyle. This is what I mean. This is why I really want to have these conversations with women who are dedicated to this path. Like here on TikTok, many of you are just like, you're hearing this stuff for the first time and you're like, wait, huh? Right. But could you explain? But I don't. Ah. And there's something about when you're on the outside of a decision, when you're on the, and then also different levels, the degree of power that you currently live at. Um, so, what I mean by this is when you lay your intent down and life sends you yes or no all the time, it sends you opportunities in the form of people, places, and things, sensations, all that. It sends you invitation, and you say yes or no all the time. And what happens is many of us have an idea of what something is supposed to look like or how it's supposed to feel, right? Because we've been so like spiritualized into like when the universe says yes, everything just aligns and it just clicks and it's just like, yeah. Or, oh, I saw 11:11 all day today. So today must be the day. And, you know, something else, whatever is your thing that you defer to help you justify and make it make sense. Yeah. It's like a real sophisticated reason, way of feeling like you know what you're doing kind of thing. And at the end of the day, it's when it's true, it penetrates. When it's true, it's compelling. It doesn't end when it's true for you. That's why, for those of you who are like, I've been getting this for years, right? You knew years ago. You knew 17 years ago, 20 fucking years ago, right? And you kept saying no and offloading the power onto something, whatever the thing was you kept offloading onto. So then, when it's time for you to say yes to something that would really cause the change that would be required for you to create the reality based on the intent that you put down, right? Whatever that intent is. And it's time for you to say yes to that thing. If you have not built up the muscle through lifestyle in your slow practice, meaning your daily behaviors, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to say yes in the flow practice, the flow of life sending you yeses or nos. Okay. How about when I'm in public settings like this and I talk, I'm always like, but when I'm in private, it doesn't happen like that. But it's just time for me to bring this forth. Is this making sense? Any questions about this? Is this making sense? I didn't ask about looks. All right, cool. Um, so I had a conversation with a woman yesterday. No, Friday. Ooh, and I was reminded of how exceptional this is over here, what we're doing. It was just the timing, new, new move. It's not about that you can't. It's just I asked a very specific question, and what you posted was not what I asked. So earlier when I came live and I decided to restart it, I was talking about this also links to a Facebook conversation I was having, I think yesterday, about how many of us are doing the work alone, right? How many of you are doing the work alone, whatever work you're doing, healing trauma, healing shame, whatever work you're doing, transforming your relationship with money, whatever you're doing, whatever, right? This is what the woman was saying in the DMs yesterday. This is what women are saying all the time. This is what, women are like, yeah, I'm working on that. I've been working on that. I worked on that. You know, or man, I thought I worked on that. How many of you worked on you worked on something? You like, I worked on that. I can't believe I thought I worked on that. Why is this still coming up? I worked on that. And I'm gonna say to you all what I said to her yesterday. I said, "You are never we." I used we, and I made sure I made it clear to her that when I say we, I mean we as a community, and that's any community, that the global community, whatever kind of sisterhood you're in, whatever. Okay. I told her, and I emphasize this. I said, we are never, ever, 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 ever going to come into the power that I know we are and that I know we want outside of community with the people with the skill and the care for cultivation. Again, the skill and the care for cultivation. The skill and the care, because she's telling me how she's working on this, and this is a woman who constantly tells me she wants to work with me constantly. Okay. And I know her situation, and she's like, I'm working on this. Or any of you who are like, Naima, I'm getting myself ready to work with you, like people who say I'm going to lose 10 pounds before I go to the gym. Okay. You're getting ready, and what you need to understand is the readiness. And I said this to her also. I said, when you and anybody else, so to her or any of you who this may be relevant for now, when and if, Yellow Flamingo said, yeah, I thought I worked on that. When and if you say yes to the community that's skilled and that's cares, when and if you say yes to the community that you know is for you, that's skilled and that cares, once you're inside that community, you will realize how much time you have wasted. You will realize how much time you wasted working on that for the last 7 years. Working on that. Here's why. The true impact inside of you, the true deep shifts inside of you, inside of your being, inside of the way you move, the way you, because that you all are looking for the thing that shifts inside that has you start living different, thinking different, doing things different, making elevated decisions, having the power being infused truly, where it's no longer even a conscious act now, it's part of your first nature way of being. That happens at deep levels of penetration and witnessing, and it happens in experience in relationship with other people, and that's what happens in the community. It doesn't happen like I'm going to do this work outside the community, then when I'm ready and I feel more mature, I feel more capable, I feel more in control, I feel more less shame, I feel more lovable, I feel whatever the feeling is you think you need, or the sort of getting yourself ready you think you need, to now I can come into community. Now I'm ready to connect with people and be seen. That is not going to happen outside of community. It happens inside of a skilled, meaning you all are committed to cultivating the skill, because obviously you're coming in underdeveloped. That's part of the reason why you want to be in the community. So you can build up the emotional skill, the insightful skill to being in healthy relationship with your intuitive mind, working through that slow practice as a lifestyle so you can bring it out in flow practice when it's time for you to actually make decisions that are in line with your vision, your purpose, what you're here to do, say, act, live, be in the world. Is this making sense? And so it's in the community where you do embarrassing things together. It's in the community where she supports you in moving through something that's shameful for you. That or he supports you in moving through something that will break all the things that's around your mind, because so much of this is in your mind and in your body. So, for example, think about the last time you got instruction to do something that was like really like, whoa, if I do that, my life is going to change. And I don't know what the other side of that is going to look like. I don't know how that's going to feel. That feels too foreign and unknown, even though it was a clear instruction from whoever you're in relationship with, God, the spirit, your high self. Who here has had that? And you said no because of what? Why'd you say no? Why did you say no? Why did you say no? You guess or you know? This is another thing that you develop inside the community, because I'm very vigilant about the level, the quality and level of the language you use. You're constructing your life all the time with your language. She said, yellow, I don't know if that's a man or a woman, probably a woman with yellow flamenco, said, I wasn't ready for the rapid change, I guess. And my question to yellow flamenco is, you guess or you know? You see that subtle way that you leak your power? She's not the only one who's guilty of this, okay? She's not the only one. People do this all the time. I was in Womanhood initiation last week, and this woman spoke, and she was like, this is this, I think. And I said, you think? Or, I know. It's just like, da, 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 right? And it's like, so when I said earlier, when I linked this to earlier, when I said full power is difficult. And what is full power? It's complete ownership of every sensation, thought, feeling, action, and inaction, your intuitive relationship, everything about you, full ownership, and then making decisions from that. In this instance, an example of that is full ownership of the language you use, full ownership of the mind and the being that even spoke that language. You see how much power is here with you all the time, and how when you're left to yourself, like this woman who I was DMing with yesterday, when you're by yourself, you're literally like in your own prison, mental prison, body prison, trying to get out. So you're fighting up against your own self, which makes it so, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? When you get instruction to do something and it just feels like ah, it just feels like, no, I can't, because so much about your mental state that has gotten you to where you are, you've strengthened it so much over time. You've strengthened it so much, but then you lay down this intent for this new reality you want. Now you want this house. Now you want this relationship. Now you want this kind of money. Now you want this and this, that. And what the intent that you laid down inside of your soul, inside of your body, inside of your system would require that you break this that you've created, this comfort, this familiarity, this stability. And you have the power to do that fast, which is why Yellow Flamenco said, whether you said that consciously or unconsciously, I wasn't ready for the rapid change. She said I wasn't ready for the rapid change. And this links to what I said earlier about when you make it a lifestyle in the slow practice, meaning life, you make it a habit to respond to intuition all the time throughout your day. And you build up the muscle by dedicating to this for 30 days. There's a takeaway for you right there. Just decide for the next 30 days, you're going to follow every single intuition. It could be something, just, it could look just like this. Oh, you just got to hit to like email that person. Oh, and then, but then you dismiss it. You say, no, I don't need to do that. Or, I don't know that. You sort of talk yourself out of it. This is how you habituate your compressed, comfortable, but little things like that. That's the slow practice of everyday living. When I say you practice in the slow practice, which is life, so that it comes out in the flow. And the flow is when you get that life, do this thing that's in line with what you said you wanted, but it feels so, you see, one of the reasons why it feels so larger than you and you can't move through it is because you haven't strengthened the muscle to do it in your daily life practice. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? We are so very, very, very powerful. And the reason why we don't can't handle it is one, we are not in the communities to actually develop the skill. This is the muscle, the skill, the mind, the language, the body. This is really high level, intense work. Almost none of you are going to be able to do this over the long term by yourself. And I mean, that's 99% of you because there is a small fraction of you that can, when I say small, I mean less than 1%, okay, that can engage in the, what will happen for those of you, what has happened for me doing this work by yourself is whew, the intensity on the body, the intense is such, it's like, what do you call that? CrossFit, right? Like it's like Bikram yoga. It's like CrossFit. It's like, all the it's like climbing the Himalayan or whatever that highest mountain in the world is. It's yeah. Somebody said it's a lot. Hello, Taboshu. Hello, Taboshu. It's a lot, and this is why so many of us, we started with good intent, right? By ourselves. Because what? Why? We feel we're not seen, right? We've yet to find the community. We, um, right? We feel different from everybody, all the reasons, right? And so we start with good intent. But at some point, we get weary on the path. It starts to get too tiring. It becomes too much. And then we pull back and then our life goes by, right? Our life goes by and we're living every day. We're going to work, raising the kids, doing whatever we do. But we know and only we know that we're not on the dime of what we're really here to do. And to do that, it feels near impossible because we're all alone. And then at some point, something happens, whether something external comes in and penetrates your reality, meaning like maybe your mom dies, you get fired, you fall into depression, you end up with a terminal illness, something happens that penetrates your reality, or something happens internally that makes you want to go at it again, right? And internally could be you coming to a live stream like this. Internally could be you having a dream that makes you like, oh my God, that makes you remember how you went back to sleep over the last 3 years of your life that have gone by. And then for many of you, you have attempted several times to go at it again and again and again by yourself. And so you're experienced enough to know that by myself just is not going to work. Look how much time I have wasted. Anybody here that's true for? Hello, YouTube. I'm also live streaming on TikTok. Before I go on, um, I'm here. The plan, as I said last week, that I'm to be here every Monday through Thursday, here and here, every Monday through Thursday. First of all, is that true for anybody here on TikTok or YouTube, what I just said? Or no? And if it's no, put no. Allah raised her hand. Hi. All right, God. I got yes and true. I want to reiterate for those of you who just got here in the last few minutes or so. This live stream happening right now is the planting of a seed for the women who actually will come into the community, one community, or work with me in a much more private one-on-one setting or one in small group, right? Because there's a community which is for everybody, not literally, but the 18 and over, that's the woman community. And then there's the women who they want a more higher touch experience. They want to work more closely with me. Today's live streaming is the planting of a seed of laying down an intent of the level of conversations and work we'll be doing behind the scenes. Particularly for those of you who have great drive and desire to own your full power because you really have something that's life changing, whether it's for yourself and the collective, it's always for yourself, but also for the collective or for the community you are meant to serve. Whether you are called to serve the masses, whether you're called to serve your city, right? Whatever. For those of you who are driven, truly, and you know that you know that you know that you know, even with all your failures, even with all the times that you started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped, you know that it's going to require such a strong, solid yes from you. No tiptoeing, no, you know how we do. We give ourselves a little wiggle room, a little bit of a back door, etc. And while that seems like, you know, whatever it may seem like for you, your highest self knows that there's an all in component to you and that your deepest, most shit talking self, your deepest, most fierce, you will not unleash until you go all in. It just ain't happening. It just ain't happening. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, that's what we, those of us who are driven and called, that's what we actually want. Yes or no? Yes or no? That's what we actually want. We want the truest, highest covering. We want the truest, fiercest power. Yes or no? Because I can end the live stream now. If that shit didn't land and is ill fucking relevant for you, we can end it. Yes or no? Yes or no? You ain't in anyway. Yes or no? Because the lack of a yes or no is also a communication. So, yes or no? You all take good care of yourselves.